Brockett, to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it is going to be because of the actions he took, so you can talk all you want about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of you were running at that time. You were all grabbing gas masks. I told my mom that her apple pie tasted a little weird this year, and she goes, "Really? I always use the same recipe. The nutmeg was a bit clumpy. Maybe it didn't blend well." She takes out the jar to show me, and after a very long pause, I say, "Mom, this expired 24 years ago." Anyway, we decided to double check the rest of the spices in the jar, and it certainly did not disappoint. Delectably Dill Herbal Blend. Used by December 16th, 1999. I was 0. She started with at least 30 spices. She now has 6 spices left. We also cleared 3 full shelves of fossilized teas and rediscovered my favorite hot cocoa mix from when I was a toddler. I cannot stress enough how many of these things expired years before we moved here. That, I could just only hope that they haven't been being used. I have seen no more convincing arguments in favor of no-fault divorce than the comments of men who are angry that their wives are allowed to divorce them. Hashtag no-fault divorce. Hey, Lauren Boebert, please take your squat breaks behind somebody else's Nissan. Believing a single person is the only person capable of saving you and those around you is the very definition of a cult. If you firmly believe Trump and literally no one else is capable of saving this country, then you are in a cult. You are insane. Stop being insane. Donald Trump is confirmed to be on the Epstein flight logs. I mean, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? Hey, are you surprised? No, I don't think anyone's surprised. Bro, I will whoop the out of a man wearing a dress and not feel bad. I was just fired from a $400,000 a year job for standing up for women and white people. My full story will be coming out soon. We will not be watching. We do not care. There's nothing wrong with liking Eve 6 music. We certainly appreciate it when people do, but we shouldn't be your favorite band. If we're your favorite band, something is wrong. To be honest, if we're in your top 30, I'm a little worried about you. Don't sell yourself short. Closing Time was a banger. Means a lot, thank you. The global warming cult sure is quiet right now. Jesus Christ, only a complete moron would believe global warming doesn't exist because it got cold outside. Let's do a deal. Donald Trump gets to ignore the 14th Amendment and run for president again in 2024, but Barack Obama gets to ignore the 22nd Amendment and also run for president again in 2024. Republicans cool with that? Breaking. New study says 50 years of tax cuts for the rich failed to trickle down. I know it's smart marketing for email subjects to be personal things like "we need to talk," but I am so tired of seeing emails from a name I don't recognize in my inbox, so I open it up and it's the new CEO of a leggings company, letting me know her plans for our future together. If you want, I can send a pitch for my brand of leggings, so you can have a familiar face. I appreciate that. Very thoughtful. Unfortunately, they are Nabrok, so it's a very niche market. If there's a movie about Elon, I want him to be played by Kathy Bates, not the director of Moon tweeting out Hinata Dakimakuras on Maine. It's a lovely thought, but the truth is an uncomfortably large fraction of the world is more than happy with the most artificial of foods, entertainment, and relationships. Dude is judging hardcore. Humans doing the hard jobs on minimum wage while the robots write poetry and paint is not the future I wanted. Just a reminder that Japan has mentally ill people, video games, only 1.5% of the population being Christian, trans people, violent movies, a population of 125.7 million, 2 people killed by guns all of last year, 0 mass shootings. It's the guns, stupid. LSU library, LSU FB locker room. Grandma Bobo embarrassing herself again. You've got to appreciate the irony of climate protesters trudging through a foot of snow and negative 30-degree wind chills to yell about how the planet is warming. They just don't see it, do they? Donald Trump told grieving parents to get over it in his speech tonight. That mother can't get over the fact he lost an election 3 years ago. We can't allow that sociopath near the White House ever again. I have an idea for the border crisis. Make the border smaller and therefore easier to secure. I know what you're thinking. How do we make it smaller? Easy. Just move it to Panama. Now it's tiny, and we have more beaches, and why has no one thought of this? Let's talk about the political majority of the future. More Gen Z Americans identify as LGBTQ than as Republican. Ah, yes, the LGBTQ party. Little bit about me. I once saw Brad Pitt at a bar back in the late 90s. He was smoking, so I walked up and asked for a light. He handed me his lighter, but I didn't have a cigarette, so I just flicked on the lighter and said, "Oh, cool, it worked." works, gave it back and walked away. Dude, that make me die laughing. Favorite film scene featuring a horse? Reckon we might be running out of quote tweet prompts. You can't handle the truth. Do you understand that the guy who said that in the movie was arrested and charged with negligent homicide? I haven't seen that movie, damn it. I uploaded, go watch or I'll drop kick you. Upload on this platform too. Yeah. My videos cost millions to make, and even if they got 1 billion views on X, it wouldn't fund a fraction of it. I'm down though to test stuff once monetization is really cranking. He told Elon, you can't afford me, lil bro. After Elon offers a 1 million Dogecoin bounty to anyone able to prove his family had an emerald mine fortune, his dad comes out and says, can I get in on that? Cause I totally have proof of it. Jesus Christ, dude, he self-reported the family. I see a lot of people melting down this morning after Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong changed the American Idiot lyrics to I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda during their New Year's Rockin' Eve show. In my opinion, Green Day was right about the Bush administration in 2004 when this song was released, and they are right again 20 years later. People have the right to express their political opinions through art. That's what this is. If you don't like it, don't listen to their music. Or a lot of music. It leaks in a lot. Some of you owe me an apology. I swear I keep hearing Yiddish under the floor in my New York apartment. I live at ground level and we have no basement. I am not crazy. There are Jews living under my apartment. I hear them. It's like they are digging or something. For the record, I live at ground level and we do not have a basement. Dude, what? Are you okay? Do you need to go to the doctor? Are you hearing things? Are you all right? I don't think so. Nothing says ban assault rifles like 5 school officers, 8 federal DEA officers, 13 U.S. Marshals, 16 sheriff's deputies, 25 Uvalde officers, 69 officers, nice, of nearby law enforcement, 91 state police officers, plus 149 U.S. Border Patrol agents being scared of one shooter with an AR-15. When only 14% of your citizens go to church on a regular basis, 73 out of 100 marriages end in a divorce, you've got 500,000 abandoned children, you're the European leader of children raised by single parents and abortions per capita, but you still manage to convince the leaders of the Western alt-right that you're the true bastion of conservative values because of anti-LGBT laws and high levels of domestic violence. Highest HIV rate in Europe. Lol. Hey, nice man bun. It fucking sucks, you hipster asshole. He turns around and reveals he is a samurai from the Tokugawa shogunate. Oh, fuck. In case you missed it, the Fifth Circuit in Texas has ruled that hospitals in the state are not in fact obligated to perform life-saving abortions under the Federal Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. So a woman dying from sepsis gets to, what, die? Pro-life, am I right? Not he's confused by turnstiles is comedy gold. Has anyone scored this yet? We now know how to win the coming civil war. People who claim to follow the teachings of Jesus are fuming that there might not be razor wire at the border to slice up children. House Republican Jeffrey Epstein flight logs not released because colleagues would be compromised. You mean to tell me there's active files in power right now? People are unknowingly voting in files and we're not allowed to know? This cannot be real. Perfect for family Easter gatherings. Jesus is our savior and Trump is his weapon. I had to zoom in. I didn't know what hand symbol Trump was doing. Looked like a, I'll leave it to your imagination. Marjorie Taylor Greene suggests that if Democrats move to a red state, they shouldn't be allowed to vote for 5 years. You can live there and you can work there, but you don't get to bring your values. What the kind of back-asswards thinking is that? Republicans will do literally anything in their power to get anyone to not be able to vote for anyone but Republicans, basically. It's a little unfair if you ask me. Imagine taking a few Bible verses on human sexuality as literal divine commands from God for all society, but minimizing the 3,000 plus verses calling for the care of immigrants, the marginalized, the oppressed, and the poor to a personal choice. YouTube pastor waited 4 years for his girlfriend to turn 18 and propose. Oh, I've seen this guy before. Yep, there he is. Finally 18. God, the finally. Literally, you all you had to do was just not say finally, and you could have made it a little less weird, but you've been with her for 4 years. That's gross. You say she was just your best friend for 4 years, but okay, dude. Who's got the answer to number 4? Name something that scares conservatives. The truth, unarmed black men, Hillary Clinton, LGBT, lady parts, gay weddings, Muslims, Mexicans, progress, government, take their guns. Honestly, I think number 4 should just be women. They seem to be very afraid of women and or want to, make them not have any rights at all. What in the actual? Think about this. If I had 7 or 8 kids and the atheist secularist, I've never seen that word until just now, has 2, not only do I have a 4-to-1 advantage, but then one of my kids concerts one of his, and now it's 9-to-1. Then all of our kids have 4 kids, and his kid has 2. I baptize them all, and it's 36 to his 2, 34 net. What the fuck are you talking about, Jared Jones? Good morning, America. How are you? The MAGA Republicans in Congress have replaced their American flag lapel pins with AR-15 pins. Wow, that is so lame. Why would you replace your country's flag that you love so much with a AR-15, something that has killed countless Americans the past couple years? It's just disgusting. Fuck you. If the shots were given away for free because they're life-saving, why isn't insulin free? Chemotherapy? EpiPens? That's a genuinely fantastic question, actually. Texans are now digging through dumpsters in hopes of finding food after days without power. Hundreds of thousands lost power, surpassing the 2021 debacle. So guess what Governor Greg Abbott has been tweeting about all day? His border wall. I kid you not. It's not like he has a whole state to worry about or anything, but oh no, let's worry about the wall that doesn't work. They never work. I have no idea who she is. It's my aspiration to make music that everybody can enjoy, except for straight men. Dove Cameron. Yeah, I've literally never heard that name until just now. Also, is it Dove Cameron? I don't give a shit. Ukraine is hosting one of the greatest epics of this century. We are Harry Potter and William Wallace, the Na'vi and Han Solo. We're escaping the Shawshank and blowing up the Death Star. We are fighting with the Harkonnens and challenging Thanos. Alright. In Florida, you can carry a firearm without a permit, but a teacher carrying an unvetted book is felony? What kind of 1930s Nazi Germany bullshit is this? This is a man sitting in a chair. That was the extent of what he did at the Capitol on January 6th, and he's looking at spending the rest of his life in prison. Can you imagine? Hey, what are you in for? I sat in a chair in an office, a very, very particular office in a kind of important I messed up a little bit. Maybe she was cleaning out the windows? Russian President Vladimir Putin's top war official plunges 160 feet to her death from high-rise building. Ooh. Trump to McDonald's employees today. I know this menu better than you do. I probably know it better than anyone in here. Yeah, he probably said that. A new bill proposed would let prisoners trade their organs for a reduced sentence. Just what the f***, man? What are we outraged about today? Announcers for this Eagles 49ers game, alright, so this is a sports game, just spotted the First Lady in a box and of course call her Dr. Jill Biden. Wonder if she realizes what a wannabe she looks like insisting on this fake title, get a real MD, or just work on your self-esteem. But she's literally a doctor. She got her degree. That it's not a fake title. Oh, Jesus Christ, I am so not down with these long-ass tweets. Anyways, Pastor Joel Osteen pays himself an annual salary of $54 million from his church profits. He had a custom garage built with 20 car stalls for each of his custom vehicles. His favorite is a Ferrari 458 Italia that costs $270,000. He lives in a 70,000 square foot mansion. In the New Testament, 4 different times Jesus tells his followers to always pay their taxes. Why is it in the United States that churches don't have to pay taxes? The IRS figures if all churches paid their fair share of 15% taxes, that it would total over $2 trillion a year, more than enough to solve the homelessness in this country, since it looks like these pastors would rather spend your donations on new cars instead of feeding the hungry. I don't know why I said hungry, but I'm keeping that in. Ban all junk fees. You shouldn't have to pay an extra $50 to sit next to your child on the plane, pay a surprise resort fee for a hotel stay, pay $200 to terminate your cable plan, or pay huge service fees to buy concert tickets. It's time for Congress to pass the Junk Fee Prevention Act. I mean, I'm always down to spend less money, I'm just saying. This day could use a little bit more thurs, if you ask me. Yeah, sure. Breaking. Former President Jimmy Carter has entered hospice care. He's lived a long life. He's lucky. He got to live long enough to see a Democrat in the White House who was more destructive than he was. He should feel blessed. Don't get why people are so upset about what I said. It's a compliment. I said he's no longer the worst Democrat to ever hold office. Knowing that should be a huge relief. Barack Hussein and Joe have him beat. When the data tells us what we already know, U.S. police 3 times as likely to use force against left-wing protesters, data finds. Yeah, I think videos on Twitter were enough to determine that. The national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance should be played and recited every single day in every single public K-12 school, and every single student should be required to participate. No. At no time in history have the people forcing others into compliance been the good guys. Julie Briskman was the cyclist who gave the Trump motorcade the finger. Donald Trump was so angry he demanded that she be fired, and she was. She was so angry she decided to run for office and defeated the local Republican candidate. She has been sworn in now. Hell yeah. The bride and groom from the wedding at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. I don't know much about Jimmy Carter's presidency, but I do know that the man sold his own peanut farm when he became president to avoid any improperty, and he's been volunteering with Habitat for Humanity for 40 plus years since. To me, that makes him the greatest president alive.